And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Bloxx. So it seems to be that there's a lot of roll and write games now, like Yahtzee. You roll some dice, you write something down. It also seems like a lot of these games have multiple X's in the title, so that's Bloxx. This one is unabashedly Tetris, the roll and write game. Not quite, there's some shapes in here that aren't technically legal in Tetris, but with the resounding resurgence of Tetris, this might do very well. So in this game, you're rolling shapes. You got to fill those shapes in on your sheet and try to get the highest score. That's it. Let's take a look. Each player is going to get a sheet. Every sheet in this book is exactly the same. One player is going to go first. They're going to roll the two dice, and they're going to pick either of these shapes and put them on your sheet. When you put these shapes down, it's kind of like Tetris. You're going to drop the shapes down. So maybe they'll pick this one here, and they'll drop it like this. So they'll drop it like this. And there's 3 X's in it, so they do X, 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 and circle the 3. Hooray! I want to circle the 3 because that's going to give me 3 points at the end of the game. So you want to do, now everyone else can pick either one. They want to pick this one. They can pick this one, but if they do pick this one, they have to put an X where the circle is, which maybe they would put it here, and that wouldn't matter. So maybe the next player goes, for example, and let's say they pick this one here. No, let's say they pick the little one. Now I'm stuck with this one. I'm like, well, all right, I'm going to use the little one anyway, and I'm just going to put it here like this. But now I have to put an X in both spots. I can't put a circle there even though it shows it. Now, when somebody fills up a complete green row, the first person to do so will circle the 4 here. Everyone else will cross off the 4. They can't get any more. Anybody else who finishes it will simply get 2 points. So you're going to keep doing that. If, for some reason, let's say I drop this piece down like this. I don't know why I would do this, but let's say I did. I can't fill this in, so I'm going to color this in like this. This is going to lose me points at the end of the game. It's going to give me penalties for each of these I can't fill in. And so you're going to keep going. If you can't put a shape in one turn, if 2 players can't do it, the game ends, and everyone's going to calculate their points. They'll count the points for these, so maybe let's say I got 4, 2, 2, and I didn't get anything here, so that's 8 points. You'll count up all the ones you have in circles, maybe so I got 12 points of that. And then you're going to subtract a point for each of these. So let's say I found 4 of those. Add that together, and that's your final score. Whoever has the highest score is the winner of the game. Not much to say here. I mean, it is always weird to me that these games come with colored sheets here. So that's really nice. Although, I really wish they had put like double sheets here because it feels like you're wasting paper, and that they had put like a different layout on the other side. The dice are fine. I mean, there's that. The rules are pretty easy and understand. And when you completely fill in one, so it looks something like this, just so you can see kind of how the whole thing looks as you fill it in. Let me say I got a couple other examples here. You'll see the circles, ones that don't get circled, and if you filled in the rows. This person finished a first in all their rows, while this person finished last in all the rows, and yet they circled a whole lot more numbers, therefore they won. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty good components. So as I said at the beginning, there's a lot of roll and write games out there. This one I found okay, but lacking in several things. First of all, filling in your row first before everyone else is not that exciting. It's literally getting 2 points more. You get 4, they get 2 if they fill it in. Circling the numbers, way more important. And sometimes you just roll the shape that you don't want. It doesn't matter. Or the person rolls the shapes that you don't need, and you just got to fit them in. You can't kind of see what's coming. That's the whole point of Tetris, right? You drop a shape, but you see the shape that's coming next. So you can kind of set up for that ahead of time. You can set up for the different shapes, but the shapes you want may never show up in this game or not show up very often. It's okay. The problem with this game is it's just very random. And the sheets are all the same. Every single game of this, you play on the exact same sheet. I don't understand that. Why didn't they change the numbers up? Why didn't they do things a little differently? So I don't know that this game has a ton of replayability. It says 15 minutes in the box. It's slightly longer than that because you roll and people are thinking about where they're going to put something and you roll. I would say closer to 25, maybe 30 minutes. And it's okay. I enjoyed it, but the problem is there's a gazillion of these roll and write games out there, and I don't know that this one stands very high above the rest of them. You know, there's games that make you think, and I like the Tetris theme. This one, when I first saw it, I thought this would be something that's right up my alley. I like the idea of putting the shapes in. The rules themselves are also not super clear on how you drop pieces down and move them. We followed Tetris rules, except we played you couldn't quick slide one in. Although the rules seem to show that you could. It was a little, again, it was a little confusing as to how that worked. But I don't know, this game seems extremely simple, but almost too simple to make. You're like, this is where I should put the shape. This is where I should put the shape. I never felt like the decisions really haunted me much. And it's not like, ooh, let's fill in the color lines as fast as I can. That doesn't give you enough points to really try for that. Like those two sheets I showed you, where the one person finished first every time, the person who circled the numbers and murdered them in that game. And that person didn't even try for the rows. It didn't feel like the two strategies were equal. It felt like going for numbers inside circles is the way to go. Which, again, it's okay. Wasn't a bad game, but it's going to get lost in the shuffle. Sorry, that's Bloxx. Dice Tower Judgment, forgettable!